Morning, guys. Good morning. 9:36 a.m. It's more like it. Like, even though I'm still not hitting the target of like early, But I go to bed late, so I guess it's okay. I hope everyone is doing marvelous on this April 13th. Because um, the energies are amazing this morning. Um, Subtle. Um, Smooth. And that trough is pushing. The crest is still light. The energies above it, they're still light. The energies that were pushing us forward, um, they're still pushing us forward. That's what I mean by the trough. Like the undertow, um, is really pushing. It's rough. It's rough. Um, and the heavenly, the crest above us, kind of see it as like butterfly wings. Like butterflies, just like like I mean, everything has a balance. If the trough is heavy and strong, then of course the crest has to be light, you know, and soft. So um, that's how I see it. Spirit, we should just be thanking spirit for everything. I mean, we should just really be thankful for what's happening in our lives, because it's really magnificent. It's miraculous what's really happening in our lives. I, speaking as a divine masculine, all I can say is that spirit has really transformed my life. Within this past, within the past week, the energies have been pushing and pushing and pushing, and you can feel it's like there's this urgency of like getting everything out the way, getting your issues out the way, getting like really touching every area of your life to like in like cleanse in purging and cleansing, and allowing you to reflect and introspect how you know how you were in the past and how you are now. It's like spirit is just really, really, really trying, or not trying, because whatever spirit does, it does. So spirit is really, pushing us to rise and to stand in our power. And how have you guys been doing about checking in with yourself about standing in your power? Because I've kind of like made it a habit to check in with myself. Like, am I standing in my power? Am I in my power? Am I being authentic right now? Am I, you know, taking up for myself? Am I taking up for myself in a powerful way, not having to push or pull or even touch anyone or come out of character and use like vulgarity? But am I standing in my power as far as, like what is this gonna make me happy? Am I completely standing in the power of God? The power that God has given me, in this situation. So I really encourage you guys to really try um, to just be aware and start asking yourself silently or aloud during the day. Am I standing in my power when you get a moment? Am I being powerful? Am I being the being that God created me to be in its entirety? and authentic, original. Um, yeah. Spirit is seriously. Spirit is like really um, asking us to ground ourselves, be pleasant, patient, and know that everything is okay. Like ultimately, know that everything is fine. Like everything is divine. Like everything is just fine. Some people will be meeting up this week, you know. Um, others next week. Um, it's all up to you. It's all up to you. Um, if your heart's open or not, it's up to you. Um, if you accepted the transformation, then you're on your way. Um, and this is your cycle. This is your cycle. This is your cycle. This is your point where you move forward, in finances, in career, in family. Um, and this is where love is like shining through any type of illusions, veils, healing any type of heartbreaks, healing any type of trauma. You're healed. You're healed already. But love is just gonna kiss the wounds so deeply, um, and remove those scars, and you're gonna continue to blossom, basically. Um, Spirit is really working on the divine masculine. I really don't know, what's going on with divine feminine. It's really hard. I guess I don't know. I just don't. I can't really feel the divine feminine. Like because I don't know like what she. I don't know what she's going through. I really don't. I don't know what my divine feminine is going through. As far as I know, like she's married somewhere, you know, dating, totally in love, you know. I would like for that not to be, but I don't know. Um, so I really don't know what divine feminine is really feeling. If you're divine feminine, you watch this video, and maybe you could lend some information, because I can only tell you that God has been working on me, and I guess I really want to give you like some examples and be honest, so that maybe you could like assimilate my journey with your divine masculine as well, and see if this resonates with you, and if like if it resonates or not. I we'll go back like 2 years, maybe 2 years back. I was terrible. I mean, oatmeal in my tea. Um, I was terrible. No, like I was a terrible person. Like I was an ugly person, man. Like, and not like intentionally. It was just like I that's how I grew up in that type of environment. And so I had you know, anger issues, you know, um, anger that hadn't been worked out. I had, abandonment issues that hadn't been worked out. I had rejection issues that hadn't been worked out. I had confidence issues that hadn't been worked out. I had communication issues that hadn't been worked out. I had issues, with myself, with my physical appearance that hadn't been worked out. I had issues with, being feminine and having a serious load of divine masculinity that hadn't been worked out. I had, like just, you know, I had a lot of stuff that hadn't been worked out. I had a lot of unresolved issues that caused me to be, you know, detached from being present and just really living within myself. And it really didn't help that I'm my sun sign is Libra and my moon sign is Gemini. So I'm like a really air sign. I'm like in my head. I'm a thinker, like times two, I'm a thinker. And so, you know, it made me a very ugly person, you know. At the time, like it was just, I mean, not like physically, just like emotionally. Uh, I was just ugly. Like I was hurtful. I was hurting, and I was just hurting others. Like not intentionally, but I didn't like. I was just hurting people. I mean, when you're not aware, when you're in pain, things don't matter outside of you. People's feelings really don't matter. It's like I don't. It's odd because I'm not saying it in a way when I say people's feelings don't matter. I'm not saying it in a way like you like don't care about people. I'm saying it in a way that you're just not aware of everyone else. Like it's like you're so stuck in the pain inside of you that it's like you almost don't notice that there's people around you. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't know, it's just weird because I would never really intentionally hurt anyone. So I had like 2 years ago I was just terrible. I mean, God just continuously worked with me. Like I mean, I was meeting up with my twin like not often, like every 6 months or so, like every 4 to 6 months, and it was very difficult for me to meet, to spend 2 or 3 days, and then just to end in such like disharmony, and then having to go through another phase of growth, like of 6 months in purging of being attached, and all that, like purging from being attached from my twin, like, and having to go through that process all over again. But it allowed me to grow so much. And like after a certain point I just realized that I was just growing, like I was just going deeper within myself. Like every time we would meet and then like we would just separate, I would go into this like phase of just learning of myself and growth, and really journeying within myself, like wanting to journey within myself to be better, for myself and for my love and for life. And it's not until like I always had the intention of helping people, but it's not until like maybe the last year or maybe like 8 months or so that I really like God really made clear the vision of like what this is all about, of light, of love, of connectivity with other people, with just being a humanitarian basically. And it's like my life has completely changed. Spirit, took me to the darkest places within myself. Like, and it was not easy. Like, it was very difficult. And, Spirit took me to, the places that I've been, really running from my entire life. Like my places that I was insecure that caused a lot of pain within myself and my relationships, the places that I was just really attached, the places that I was just hurting because of abandonment and rejection and just not having anyone speak really good positivity in my life and tell me that I was, handsome, or tell me that I was beautiful, or tell me that I was intelligent or smart. So it's like, all those areas in my life, even the relationship with, my stepfather and my mom, like it just, we never were able to connect on that level. And so it's very, very difficult to, to move forward in life when when there's so much to deal with, but God dealt with those areas with me. And and coming back to like the last, you know, 6 weeks or so, God, I mean, Spirit has been like really diligent on clearing and cleansing and grounding and showing us the vision and showing us the love and really, preparing us for whatever God has for us, whether it's union, whether it's humanitarianism, whether it's both, whether it's family, whether it's work and career, whatever it is, like it's important. Whatever it is, it's important. Um, and so these past few days, it's almost as if like the divine masculine, it's like we're realizing that we've done terrible things, to the divine feminine, and it like I think we realized that a long time ago. Like I mean, because once it happened, like once it happened, you're just like, man, I didn't really, it's like you have this serious conviction within your heart, within your body, and you just like you really want to make it right, but it's too late. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's too late after that. Um, so that's really been going on, but lately it's almost as if like it's not you feeling bad anymore. It's you saying, okay, this cannot happen and it will not happen again. You know what I'm saying? Like it won't happen again. And like in the past, it was almost as if I didn't know like that she was really my divine feminine. Like I didn't like I knew that I loved her so much. You know what I'm saying? But it just wasn't clicking in my mind at all. Like that. Okay, this is my queen. Like this is who she is. Like, and I need to accept her as she is. Like in every form that she is. I just didn't like. I just knew that I wanted to be with her. I didn't know that she was, who she is. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I just knew that I loved her. Like I don't know how to really explain it. Like just recently, it's just like everything is really coming together to where I can really see who she is, because now I can see who I am. So it was never really about, it was never really about divine feminine of like really hurting her. It was about me hurting myself. You know what I'm saying? And not feeling worthy enough, deep down in myself, and really admitting that I didn't feel worthy enough to have such a beautiful, spiritual being, and to share life with such a beautiful spiritual being, even though that's what I wanted. Like I didn't feel worthy enough to, have a family. You know what I'm saying? Or to have nice things, or to have a good time in life. I didn't feel worthy enough of that. But God has done so many great things, man, like in my life and in the life, hopefully, of the divine masculine, and they've accepted what God was doing in their lives, even though it was very uncomfortable. Very, very uncomfortable. Like, especially when there's no one else in the world that you could possibly talk to about this. And so I dealt with this alone. I'm completely being honest. I never had contact with my divine feminine. Like, we never really had conversations because it was that difficult, to hold a conversation with me. And so I dealt with this alone. I'm gonna say that I deserve to deal with it alone, because you know I just needed that. That's the best way I can say is, if it happened that way, is that's what it was supposed to be. Like, that's how it was supposed to be. That's how your growth was supposed to be. And so now it's like we're coming into this phase, this place of God has really opened the divine masculine. I feel like there's like a little bit more opening up to do, and I feel like maybe after, uh, you know, the divine feminine comes around, and and they speak. And you know what's so crazy about this, man? Is like everything is gonna like kind of like boom. Like everything is gonna collide. All the love and light is gonna collide. It's gonna make this big, beautiful white fire or in the sky. Like when the divine masculine and divine feminine come together. For those that are like really ready and have done the work, it's gonna be beautiful. And even when you just communicate, like when you even like when you're talking maybe for the first time in a long time, to maybe communicate and meet up, that just the tone and the frequency is going to push everything where it needs to be within the divine masculine, within the divine feminine. So everything that, if the divine feminine is having like trust issues, and see, that's one thing I can say, I can feel, I can understand. It's kind of like the divine masculine has come to a point to where it's like I can understand if she don't come back. You know what I'm saying? I can understand if she do come back. I can understand how she's hurt. I can understand how she may be having like, these trust issues, regarding me because of everything that I've done. I can understand like how she's very timid and very, she's just watching to see. I can understand that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so everything that, divine masculine, divine feminine are feeling. Once that communication is, it's like, it's so amazing. Like I'm getting chills. Like once the communication, I can just feel that energy within my body. Once the communication, and I had a dream. I talked to her last night. Once the communication hits, then it's almost as if like everything just takes place. Like the last part of the purging and the cleansing, you know, is downloaded within, and there shouldn't really be any arguments or disharmony. I think if this is the question, I feel like this is the question, maybe these two questions that will cease all arguments, or disharmony. Do you know that I am your twin? Do you know that I am your divine love? Do you know that? Do you know that God wants us to be? Do you know that God put us here to be? And after you ask those questions, there really shouldn't be any arguments, because you know that I'm here for you, perfect. I'm perfect for you. I've been through hell and back, to prepare for this. And I know that you're here for me, so let's just do what we're supposed to do. You know, if you have, hopefully, at this point, there shouldn't really be any type of issues. There shouldn't be any exes still in the picture. There shouldn't be any confusion as far as who you really desire and who you want to be with. If there is, then there's going to be arguments. There's going to be arguments, and I'm feeling like that's for the people who really are just coming into this. Like if you've been on this journey for a while, maybe like for 5 to 6 years, 4 to 5, 6 years, then I feel like it's probably your time. It's your time to come into union. Um, but yeah, the divine masculine has been going through a lot, and I feel like you know divine masculine is very sure um, of who he loves, and how he loves and why he loves, and um, very sure of his career. You know, I was a divine masculine that really didn't have anything. Like I didn't have any money. I didn't have any. Like I had a car um, that I was like barely paying insurance on. I didn't have a house. You know, I had this house. I was living here, but I didn't have like anything that I could call my own. And God is changing my life. Like it's just you know everything. It's just amazing. So all I can say is really I can't really tell you to trust your divine, but I can tell you to trust God. And Spirit came to me last night. Because I really do. I miss her. Like I miss her beauty, her intelligence, her love, her sound. I just I miss her perfection. You know. Um and so I was laying in bed last night, and Spirit put this on me. It was like, do you know that this union has been blessed already? And I was like, I started thinking, I'm like, that is very true. I believe in 2013, I believe, maybe 2012, we were at, I believe, a Pride festival in New Orleans, no, in Baton Rouge, I think, or it was some type of festival, and it was at the Unitarian Church, and they were having relationship lessons by the Unitarian pastor of the church, and we were blessed, and we received a certificate, and it hurts my heart to think about, you know, what happened after that. But we were blessed, and by an ordained minister, and we received a certificate, and she uh, kept that certificate on the fridge for a long time, and we were going through a difficult time, and this is when I told you I was a terrible as a person, man. And I was leaving, packing all my things, and I was leaving the house, and I crumbled the certificate, um, and I tossed it in the garbage. Because I had no idea what a twin flame was. I had no idea that I was just going through so much. Like I was going through a lot. And I think for the divine masculine right now is God is allowing us to see everything that we've done to ourselves and to the divine masculine. I mean, to the divine feminine. Um, and with that awareness, it's just so much tenderness and you know sensuality and maybe so much love, so much sweetness and compassion, so much understanding and patience and willingness and so much willingness to surrender, to the divine feminine as far as like she is a warrior, like she's a queen, like she is a conqueror. She overcomes, she is beautiful in every aspect, and I think, right now I know actually that there's so much love and tenderness in the heart of the divine masculine, depending on where you are in your journey, for the divine feminine, that it's almost as if, like, this queen is so delicate. And I'm not talking about weak, I'm just talking about, like so strong, but yet like needs to be treated with the utmost respect. I guess that's what I'm saying. The utmost honor and the utmost, understanding and compassion and love and patience and just to value her, to love her, like to truly love her, like to truly care for her, like I don't really know, like she, it's like God is giving us like a rare porcelain or something, like a rare piece of gold, a rare jewel, and it's like we have to care for this jewel with love and with respect and with compassion and tenderness, and allow the jewel to be a jewel, but just keep it very dear to us. It's precious, like it's, and so we need to treat it as if it is, and that you know we know that who this divine woman is. And the same thing with divine feminine. I feel like, you know, divine masculine see the divine feminine as if, man, you've been there through everything and you are strong, and I misjudged you. Like I judged you, and like I shouldn't have, and I misunderstood you, and like it was my apology. I didn't understand myself. And we see all these things about the divine feminine that we misunderstood, and it's like I just want to make everything right, and that is the right way to be thinking about this, because it's where you should have been thinking in the first place, So everything is perfect, everything is in divine timing, and for the divine feminine, it's important for the divine feminine to know that the divine masculine has been to hell and back. And I know so has the divine feminine, but the divine masculine has been strong, very, very strong. And I know, in the past, divine feminine may have seen the divine masculine as weak, or, as, no good, or as, a devil, or as, just all in these negative emotions, and everything that she's seen him as negatively, he's a positive out of that now. So it's like he's complete, he's whole, and so it's like respect needs to be given as well, for the journey and for everything that Divine Masculine has conquered. All the darkness and the demons that Divine Masculine has conquered. I think, and we deserve respect for that. We deserve, like, to be, really trusted for that. And to know that there's nothing that is going to come between Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine. There's no other woman. Like, there's no other woman. And as long as, God has really blessed us, the Divine Partner, because as long as you remain with God, there is no infidelity. Like, there is no other woman. And as so it's very important to keep your relationship in God. It's very important to continue to strive forward, have a mission, and to continue to thank God for everything, because God is going to keep this relationship together. Now, if you forget about God and you think it's all good and everything, then you're going to have issues. Like, you're gonna have issues, and it's not going to be relationship issues. It's going to be issues with God. And so, um, I just wish you guys the best. It's 36 minutes, and I wish you a marvelous day. Thank you so much.